everyone, today we are filming another transformation video. These dolls are from the the Memorial Day Madness haul. So the things in this lot, if you didn't see that video, were purchased over 2 days from Salvation Army and the flea market, because our flea market is open on Memorial Day Monday and of course like the usual Sunday. We hadn't gotten to go to the flea market in close to a month. I don't think we went in May at all. And so this kind of recompensated for it. We have a bunch of dolls to show you. Some are boxed and most are loose, so we hope you enjoy. And we're going to show you what the dolls look like now. So starting with the box dolls we got, this is Pretty and Funk Yasmin. She's technically sealed, but someone took her spare outfit out of this box, so while she is still intact, her outfit is not. If you're interested in knowing what we paid for these things, check out that haul. I'll link it below.
My personal favorite item, Share a Smile Becky from '96.
Yep, she is in really great shape. And then,
especially compared to the other box dolls.
God, this one's ravaged. It's not even gonna hold up for this. This is the Beauty and the Beast Classics Deluxe Gift Set, and as you can see, it died in the car. This is from 1992.
It actually disintegrated in the car.
Okay, and then we have this big bin of dolls here. They weren't in the bin when we got it. This is just how we chose to put them while we were going through. In no particular order, this is 2011 Princess and the Pop Star, 2-in-1 Princess to Pop Star, Tori. Look at that rotating scalp.
1988 School Time Fun Coach Dad.
From the Hart family. He was
Adorable.
from the Salvation Army. 2014 First Edition Darling Charming. She's missing some things and her hair is a little messy.
2003 My Scene Spring Break Madison.
2002 Spring Break Madison.
2003 Hanging Out Barbie.
My Scene, obviously. Look at that hair. Blech. 2014 Monster Exchange Lagoona.
2013 Frights Camera Action Black Carpet Draculaura.
The Monster High dolls were actually wet when we brought them home, and some of the Barbies.
This whole, the lot we got with the Monster High were wet.
2013 Art Class Draculaura. She is, in fact, missing her hands. Now, we have hands in storage on a spare body. However, you'll see one of the other dolls, I'll explain in a moment, needs hands. So, we found a lot on eBay, and there's Draculaura hands in said lot, so.
Rather than disassemble our spare body. This is 2003 Kelly Guy Ken.
Cali Girl Ken, yep. Is 2014 Signature Descendants Evie Mal. She's pretty much like new. 89.
Yep. 1989 Dance Club Barbie.
She has some really bad dry rot.
Her jacket is so sticky, like I don't know if you can see my fingers, but it's
this faux leather material peels really bad. This is 2008 Then and Now Bathing Suit Barbie.
2014 13 Scaremaster Katrine.
Now she is the one that is missing many limbs, and they don't sell her limbs on the Monster High, like the Mattel Parts website. So I think because these dolls are discontinued, them and Ever After High, Mattel's just trying to get rid of what they have. So a lot of the main characters have sold out, and Katrine was one of them, so we had to go to eBay to buy parts. This is 2015 Genie Chic Evie. She's not that bad.
2012 Roller Maze Ghoulia. So she was actually missing a hand when we got her, but we had one in storage that we got from a prior eBay lot.
These dolls are also box dated 2011. 2006 Super Secret Makeup Vanity Jade. She has some cut chunks in her hair. Loving this Monster High swimsuit situation.
2009 Ballerina Princess Tiana.
And to go along with her, we have the coordinating Snow White, who has really chewed hand. We're going to try something out with it, see if it works, but if not, she's just going to have to get onto a different body. Barbie and the Beat.
Oh, 1990 Barbie and the Beat Midge.
Not bad, she's really nice. Style Magic Barbie. With her little wonder curls. They didn't actually cost $1.99.
We got all 5 dolls for $4.20.
Yeah, I don't know why the cashier didn't ring them up that way, but she always rings them up cheaper.
1988, My First Barbie.
Look, this one even has her shoes. But like when they're this old, everything dry rots. And this happens in the box too. So just because you keep them boxed, that doesn't prevent things from peeling. It actually accelerates the process. This is 94?
96.
96, Hollywood Legends, Wizard of Oz, Ken is the Cowardly Lion.
He's got like Sharpie on his legs.
Yeah, we'll have to see if that comes off. If not, 1985, My Little Pony, Megan in Sundance. Look at that. She has both her shoes, though. That is impressive. I thought she only had one, but I realized it was in her shopping bag. Oops, and it fell off.
2003, Formal Funk Yasmin.
2014, Costa Fierce. So we ordered, her parts were still available on Mattel's website. So we did order some. She's wearing someone else's earring.
2015, Vanity, Sisters Vanity Skipper. Who, by the way, I realized is a doll that I literally almost bought 100 times in the store.
Oh my god, this Barbie is 2010 Kohl's Walking Tawny Barbie. She was a pain to identify. I spent hours trying to identify this doll. Now, she has articulated legs and bent arms, which are very unique features for her time, and she has like this distinctive hairstyle. So I knew based on that, a lot of like animal themed dolls or baby themed dolls have like articulated knees and bent arms. The baby ones tend to have like their arms turned in like this, but I did check that out. I checked out different zoo dolls, and I saw her on eBay and all my Google searches, but there's non-Kohl's gift set of this doll that look different, that are sold in different outfits, but the guy actually had this doll's horse, and when I saw another picture of her, I was like, oh, I have to make sure to look up the Kohl's version because I saw that horse. So she was a pain in the butt to identify. So worth it though, so glad I know who she is because I hate having unknown dolls.
And last but not least, we have 2004 Funk Out Yasmin.
We did some preliminary organizing. We have this for plastic stuff. These were the loose clothes we got with the limbless lot, as we called it. And we're going to be doing doll laundry. This is my preliminary list of all the dolls we got in the lot. Their body info and things that they're missing, because this is all stuff I put on my Flickr guide.
And shoe fell off.
Yeah.
So, we decided...
Do you like how my chinchilla chewed to this page? Cried.
We decided that the only doll who's not having her outfit washed is Becky because
yeah, these are...
the other two boxes are so desiccated that those dolls just need, You can probably photograph their clothes before they're washed, though.
Yeah.
Dude, you have a little staining on your underwear. Did you poop in them?
That's definitely staying in the video. If this was an adult collector that had these dolls, I'm ashamed that they put a metal, like an elastic with the metal.
Ooh.
These elastics, one moment please. These elastics with the metal, do not use them on your dolls. They will rust because moisture from the air will make them corrode. You know, if you want to use the like pretty soft kind of elastics that don't have metal because you think they're decorative, by all means, go for it. I like to use like clear elastics, except on my American girls, because I feel like humans are a bit too, like human elastics are a bit too chunky, but don't use the metal ones, please, for the love of
This looks like a Bratz necklace.
The story behind the Descendants dolls is that they were little girls who collects them. She got like duplicates as gifts, and so her dad sold them for her. So they, in essence, were never really played with or appreciated. I mean, unless she kept the like newer ones and these were her older ones, which I'm assuming as a kid you would probably do, right? Like say you had one for a year and then you got one as a gift, you would probably keep the newer one.
Depending if you were like whether you were keeping it for sentiment or for pay.
I don't know, like if I saved up my money and bought a doll, I would want to keep it just out of that principle. I mean, obviously I buy my dolls now, but like as a kid, you know, it's more work to save up for a doll. And then on the same flip of the hand, if someone was nice enough to think of me and buy me dolls.
Well, that's why, like, I don't know, I lack the ability to turn out a perfectly good doll just because I already have one.
Please repeat what you just said to the camera.
They said you're already naked, but the leaf can come out of your hair.
It's formal funk, yes. So as I was stripping my beloved Mal, I didn't know that ever after high that Descendants hands popped out, but they're like this nice squishy plastic, so they glide in and out a lot better than Monster High. So now we have our box friends to open. Make sure you grab your scissors.
Give your scissors.
Alright, well, this is
I'm so excited.
Okay. Now, we have decided, as I mentioned before, to wash all of the box dolls things because the packaging is open, and I do that. I will wash like clothes and things. Can you hand me the? Well, these don't really need to be. These were in a sealed thing. These don't need to be washed.
Unless they're sticky, but
No, they're still fine.
we're gonna photograph their stuff before we wash it. But there's, oh my god, smell her.
Smells like cigarette smoke.
She does, but she also smells like my childhood.
All right, maybe her stuff needs to be washed.
Ooh, yeah, it probably should be. Well,
I like mothballs.
oh my god, they smell exactly like Meme's spare room.
Meme always loved to put mothballs in all of her things.
They smell just like Meme. I love you.
They smell. Go.
This is another disadvantage, keeping your dolls boxed. So if you see this side of Becky's chair, it's bright pink. This side is like discolored.
It might not be as easy to show on camera, but like where Becky wasn't covering the chair, it's like an orange color.
Yeah.
You can kind of see it on camera. It's more obvious in person. But she was like, looked like her box had been kept in a decent place, not like the Beauty and the
Yeah, and every elastic that was tying her down to the package was like literally disintegrating in my hand, like some Shelly's cheap elastics do on her Bratz display. Like they were literally turning white and disintegrating.
Mm-hmm. So it's not that I'm saying like don't keep dolls boxed. I think it all boils down to personal preference. But the reason why I'm like so open about sharing these things is because a lot of people go willy-nilly taking dolls, like keeping them in their box and thinking that number one, that means they're going to be more valuable, and number two, that the box is some indestructible force and that it's always going to protect the doll, and that a box doll is going to be nicer than an opened played with doll or like a gently displayed doll. Not true. If you take care of, like, if you have boxed dolls, you have to take care of them like you're a mother hen. You can't like display them where there's any sunlight for a long period of time, because I think that in part the fact that they're like in the packaging, it heats it up more. Like they get hot inside the box. You have to make sure they're not near any moisture. I mean, like, it's not that moisture in the sun won't affect deboxed dolls, but they're out in the open. They're like, you know, they don't get as sticky and stuff the same way that box dolls do. So it's just more like a warning that if you want to keep dolls boxed, please like take extra good care of them and don't just assume that like that box is going to protect them from everything. And if you're not planning on reselling and you don't like have a particular reason for wanting to keep them in the box, like some dolls look nicer in the box, I think we can all agree, but like if you're just kind of like, oh well, I have to keep it in the box, like do what makes you happy and not just because people are fear-mongering you into keeping them in the box or because you feel like pressured that you have to. You know, if you want to open them, you're probably doing them a favor in the long run as long as you take care of them, because keeping them in the box, I've seen more damage. Like most of our like long-term box dolls, like once they hit that 15-year mark, it all goes downhill. So we have several loads of laundry here. We have the Dance Club Barbie jacket, which was so sticky and peeling that we didn't want to put it in with the other things because the white like leather flakes off and it gets all over other stuff. Then this is like more faux leather fabric that wasn't peeling, but if you are trying to wash like things that are faux leather that kind of have that like feel to it. You don't want to let it soak too long, because even if it's something newer, if you accidentally say leave it in overnight, it could cause it to like crack, and you want to avoid that. These things were just genuinely like gross and dirty, and soaking them for like half an hour, so it's not gonna hurt them. And then those are the plastic pieces, and then in here is the main group of laundry, which it probably can all be rinsed and hung up now. This is a glimpse of the water as it's going down the drain from this bucket. It was gross. So I just finished editing the video. It took me a little while, so I want to give my knee a break. It's not really bothering me, but I don't want to sit here too long. So while I was on the phone with Colleen, because we had a problem with our parts order for Costa from the Mattel website, they didn't send us a confirmation email, but the order went through and it's all like shipped out and stuff. It just didn't go to the email for whatever reason. But when I was on the phone with her, I noticed on my Bratzilla's there were sunglasses, and I was like, where did those come from? So these are from a while back. I want to say it was opening day at the flea market when we got a bin of dolls. I noticed that these are where Noli's sunglasses went off to. I heart my friend's Noli, and I was trying to remember whose sunglasses these were, and I was like, oh, they're probably Rock Angel's Chloe's. I remember I had like a bin of the plastic pieces, and it accidentally tipped, and I couldn't find the sunglasses after, and I knew they had to be somewhere in this room, and they were protected right over there by Midnight Beach Jade. I'm sorry, that isn't a pointless aside, but I still need to clean the dolls. All of their clothes are clean except that jacket for Dance Club Barbie. We have my old Pretty and Funk Yasmin down here waiting for photos. These are dolls for other things. And then this is my old sketchbook from last year that I was using for monthly goals. It literally has one plain sheet left in it. This is just where I keep track of like temporary lists. So when you have a big lot of dolls, I personally like to be really organized. I do everything in a super methodical way. And so while we were going through all of the dolls and writing down their body make info and stuff for Flickr and their dates for the written inventory, this is where I keep my inventory, the written one anyways, things kind of got out of order, and I don't want to miss anyone, and there's also old dolls from past lots, like that's their body info. So I rewrote it and color-coded it, so I grouped all the like dolls together, so you can see there's like Monster High, and then I kept like the Draculaura's together, and then there's like the Bratz dolls. These are all the Disney dolls. These are all like the Barbie affiliates. These are the random dolls, and then on the back here, these are all Barbie herself, and then these are the American Girl outfits that we got. We showed them in the same haul video as the dolls in this video, and that's just like the info for my Flickr when I take those pictures. But yeah, so you can see here, like if you look, that I have like their country makes and body info. I have like a little code of like, you know, TNT for twist and turn waist, and B and S legs for bend and snap, just so I don't have to write out the whole word here. I write it all out on Flickr. And then I also, for the dolls that had some of their stuff but they were missing things, I also wrote like what they were missing, because that makes my job a lot easier on Flickr when I put pictures of their outfit up. I'm trying to get into the habit of itemizing like what I'm missing, so that if someone is looking at it, they can know specifically what it is that they don't have or what I'm missing. So yeah.
Here we're hanging up the clothes on a drying rack to put in front of the fan. Even if you wash things in the washing machine, I recommend drying them this way, because the dryer can melt doll clothes, and I've found in my horrible experiences in the past that it was the dryer that messed up my doll clothes most of all. I always hand wash everything and hang dry things just to be safe.
I have a little bit of time this afternoon to work on some dolls. So just to make it a little easier, I'm going to work on the boys. So we have the Beast, the Cowardly Lion, Mr. Hart, and Cali Guy Ken, and Oliver. So I'm just going to wash them because I have about a half hour before I leave. That should be plenty of time to get them done. And it's not making a huge dent, but at least I'll have some of them clean today. And I'm going to wash Becky's wheelchair too.
So for the sake of avoiding redundancy, I did not film me cleaning all of the dolls, because this is going to be a long enough video anyways. You would know if you watch my videos regularly that I use dish soap and baking soda and a toothbrush to wash their bodies, dish soap as shampoo for their hair, washing them twice, and just a regular old conditioner for detangling. Now you'll see here, I made a point of showing Dance Club Barbie. She had extreme dry rotted elastics in her hair, and the best thing to do for that is to let them soak, because that's going to help get all the melted crumbs off, more so than trying to go at it with the conditioner right away. So you could see I was getting the kettle to start the water for boiling. I've gotten into using the electric kettle instead of the microwave for larger batches of dolls, just because it stays more consistent in terms of how it heats than our teeny little microwave. And since I was doing all the cleaning by myself, since Colleen couldn't help me out, basically I would do a group of dolls, wash their bodies, and then while the water was heating up in the kettle, which only takes a few minutes, I would condition them and detangle them. And this worked out really well. I also was able to do 2 boil wash bowls, sometimes 3, whereas in the microwave I can only put 1 bowl in the microwave at a time. So this made each group a little bit longer, and I found that I was changing what I was doing more, so I wasn't like washing them all in one go or detangling them all in one go, so it gave my hands a break. And you can see I'm using a wide tooth comb and then a fine tooth comb. I'm an aggressive hairbrusher, so if my dolls look like they shed a lot, that's the reason. I just have really heavy hand, but it's okay. No one balded that bad except Madison, but that was the way she was rooted. So this is an example of one of my boil wash groups. I was able to fill up 2 bowls with some leftover water in the kettle. So say there was a doll that needed a little bit of extra hot water at the end, I could use what was left over. And I organized them by hair type, so the bowl on the left with the man doll, that is the saran hair bowl, and the bowl on the right is connect lawn hair. And I let that bowl cool a little bit before I dunked the dolls in, just because connect lawn hair is more heat sensitive and I don't want the hair frizzing and kinking up. If that happens to you, don't worry, you can just smooth it back out by combing it and dunking it again.
So while I had this round out, I changed Then and Now Barbie's body, because as you can see, her hands were completely decimated by chew marks. This is the exact same country make, it even has the same panties, so we're good. And I don't wash the bodies I know I'm going to throw out. I washed her face and her hair, then I put her in for the boil wash. When her head got soft, I just extracted it and put her on the new body. And I'll probably run some dish soap over that really quick. And then Snow White, she had a chewed hand, and something you can do is you can soak them in boiling water, and that can help like shrivel up. See, her hand's not missing limbs, it's just stretched, so it already looks quite a bit better. I mean, it's not going to look perfect, but this is a really special body. She's really pale, and I don't have anything that would really match her probably, but there is no saving this. So for Miss Lagoona, I brushed out all of her curls, so it looks crazier now, but that's what I like to do before I boil wash really curly dolls. Gets all the knots out. And also on Miss Pop Star Tori over here, I like to pick a side of hair to keep the dolls with rotating scalps, because the rotating feature doesn't really work so well, so I pick one side that I think would look better.
So people ask me rather often how I take care of dolls that have attached clothing, like my pop star Tori, who has an attached skirt and you can't remove it. So I'll wash them like normal. I'm not worried about getting the clothes wet or anything, but if I feel like they're still kind of stinky, there's 2 ways I'll do it. I'll either mix up a little tub here, as you can see, with laundry detergent and water, or OxyClean in water if their clothes are stained or extremely stinky. I just put some homemade laundry detergent in this water, and I'm just going to let her sit for a while. Sometimes, if the doll is small enough, like my genie, if you watch one of my really old transformation videos, you can see my Disney Store genie sitting in a mug in a solution like this, and I'm also working it in with the toothbrush. It's not going to hurt her hair or anything, so if she fell in, it's not a big deal, but I do have Tori propped up, and that's just a little tip on how to wash dolls that you cannot remove the clothing on, and she smelled really good after this.
This is what the Dance Club Barbie's jacket looks like peel free. Now, obviously from being soaked, this decal came off, and people ask me about this all the time. There was no way that I could soak this and get rid of the sticky gunk and this not happen. However, Colleen set the decal aside, and now I'm going to glue it back on. You can use fabric glue. I'll just use a drop of super glue because it's not a big deal to use a drop. Say hi to Kara. She's waiting for a stand because she is not allowed in the general population anymore because her arms are too fragile. And I have my Chromebook over here open because I'm using it for picture reference. I have to stand to do it, not sit on the floor as I would like because of my knee. And I put a little bit of glue on the back of the thing. Pick where I want it to be. Press it down. Add a little bit more. Press it down. And there we go. So what I'm doing right now is I have this pile of clothes on the floor. These are all like cleaned things. I'm figuring out what I need to photograph because obviously there are dolls I didn't have before, so I didn't have their outfits. There's also dolls like my Dance Club Barbie who she has more pieces to her things than I had before. Then these are the things that were already photographed or duplicated items. Same in that container. Those are just the color captures that need to be put away. These are all the dolls that have outfits that can be worn. That are like in this bin. Oops. And then these are all the dolls that need things picked out. We even have outfits kind of thought of already for them. And then this is just Earring Magic Midge who had her hair crimped recently. She's just gonna like chill because she needs a new picture taken.
And I wrote, Shelly and I put together a list. So these are the dupes I need, or dolls that I know we got something different for them to wear in this lot. And then this is a list of like dolls who I need to find something for them to wear.
So I'm gonna put some of the pieces away, some of the clothes. This dress came off of Kara. This is not something I got recently, but I need to put it away. And then these are the clothes that I got, like Yaz's bag, this Merida dress, and then I've decided that for a little while I'm going to have my Beast just be the prince so he can kind of air out and not have to be forced into that Beast costume since he was boxed for so long.
So this is my old bedroom in the basement where we keep most of our doll clothes. Yes, if you haven't seen my house tour or haven't seen my organization videos, we have an insane organization system. Most of this wall is just like Barbie and Bratz clothes, and I'm just putting things away. I have a whole system of bagging and a video on that if you're interested. And Colleen was picking out clothes for the dolls. She's like the master dresser. She's like the wardrobe stylist because she just loves dressing dolls and always picks really good outfits. And of course Oliver the cat is in here too because he has to be everywhere we are wreaking havoc on things. And this room has been great since the water heater flooded back in November, so no worries about that.
Alright, Becky's wheelchairs used to be stored in this metal case that we bought some vintage Barbie stuff in, but honestly it's like really old and doesn't always open, and there's too many wheelchairs now, so I don't know if that's going to fit in here. And then there's parts to the wheelchair.
Oh my god, that is so funny, I forgot about
Well,
that.
I was smart that I put them together.
With the wheelchairs, you are smart. Okay, Bratz kids.
They're not going to fit in there, so we're going to put them in there. Okay. And that's where all the wheelchairs are. Too many, and the parts, obviously, for one of the chairs. Okay, I need to do some glue removal treatments. And Miss Madison needs a third boil wash. I gave her 2 when I initially was cleaning the dolls, but I think she could look better. And then Katrine's not bad. I'm just doing her because, well, why not? She needs arms anyways. But do you see how like sticky? This looks soaking. This is several days after the bath. Same with Art Class Draculaura. That is glue. So I'm gonna try them out in a container with some OxyClean. I used my kettle over there to boil the water, and I'm not using gel on them right now, but I'm gonna be using it on Madison. Now, if you can't find a color bottle, which is what I use, I got mine at Sally's, you can always reuse one of these like little spray bottles. This is from Body Spray, or you can buy them in the travel section at like stores like Walmart, you know, with the mini shampoos. So just a tip if you want something to put gel in.
So here I'm giving Madison her third boil wash. I want to say she ended up getting a total of 5 because of how damaged her hair was. It was like sort of burnt and just really nappy. So I don't know what her previous owner did to her. And then I'm mixing the OxyClean in this container since I have 3 dolls. And if you're going to be soaking more than 1 doll in the OxyClean solution, make sure they're in a big enough thing. I've found that if you put them in like a regular boil wash bowl together, you don't get as effective results from the soak, and it's also harder to get the ratio right because you don't want to add too much OxyClean in or it'll salt on the dolls when they dry, and that's easy to wash out, but it's just an extra unnecessary step. The 2 Draculauras ended up getting 3 soaks altogether.
I knew I had seen this dress in my travels trying to identify Thani Barbie. It's Sister's Pup Walk Barbies. And then I have a list of original Barbie fashions that I keep track of, so you can see where I added her. So I don't really need to do this with Bratz or Disney, but with Barbie there's so many, and I don't have like a guide that I made, and they're not all in books, whereas like for Disney and Bratz I have self-made guides if I need to like double check something. But that is where I keep track of the original outfits, and then I'm going to photograph this and baggy it. So I want to put Pretty and Funk Yasmin's poster away. So this is my binder for doll posters and cards and certificates, and I recently been using these posters to make backdrops for doll photography because, you know, they kind of just sit in this book. So there were a lot more. You can see I have some Mary Kate and Ashley, the old school American Girl pamphlets I used to put in with everything. Yeah, this is just like a fun one. My doll hospital certificates for Kirsten and Addie. And I keep them all organized by like doll types. You can see there's like Bratz, Barbie, and Disney. Then I keep them in these little plastic shrouds. And what I do, I have a whole video on how I store paper stuff, but I unfold it halfway, and then I slide it through. This also helps too when I go to glue them down to the cardboard. They become flatter. So there we have it. I also save these little pamphlets, little advertisements for different like backgrounds and doll projects. I always keep a few like to not take apart, but I already have. I have like a lot of my Pretty and Punk dolls and Punk's boys I got in box on eBay because that's my favorite Bratz line of all time. So I have tons of these. So I'm just gonna put them in this little box here. I have a bag of miscellaneous like scraps of packaging and like any doll boxes that I saved. You can see there's part of Be Forever Molly's box, so I'm going to put those in here so I can use them for a later project. Come on, Barbara. Come on, use this chair. Come on. I can give it to you there. Right? Come on. No, come on. I need to show. Show everyone your birthday. Thank you.
Here I am crimping some doll's hair because I have this hair crimper I got a few months ago and I'm sort of obsessed with it. And I already have Costa and Roller Maze Gulia. I also did a Yasmin doll in a different day. Now, if you're looking for a hair crimper, I got mine on Walmart's website, but I have seen them in store at Ocean State Job Lot in the $20-$25 price range with heat settings. And that's my number one thing. If you're going to use hot tools on a doll, get ones with heat settings. So that's a good place to check, or places like Big Lots where they carry some weird, obscure things. Also, I think websites like Sally's Beauty Supply might have them too for reasonably priced. Now, there was Cowardly Lion Ken, who had the Sharpie stains on his leg, and Mal had a pink dot on her nose, and then this is just Kumi from another haul. She needed stain removal too. I'm putting them out first thing in the morning. This is why this video took a while to get up, because these dolls took forever to get rid of the stain. Sorry there's a lot of voiceover for this part of the video, but sometimes when I'm really busy, I'm too concentrated on what I'm doing. This is me making earrings. There was a lot of dolls who needed earrings in this haul, which I love. I get so excited. And some people can think my earrings are tacky. I agree, they are tacky, and I like them that way. I literally used fuzzy pom-poms on Costa here, and it made my whole day getting to use those really tacky charms. I didn't film me making all their earrings because it's, again, a kind of redundant process, but I just love it. It's one of like the most therapeutic things about dolls for me, is designing them accessories and earrings.
So my scene Barbie has one factory earring left and one empty hole. So I have to remove what's left of this earring because obviously I have a pair of homemade ones. So I'm just going to take a pair of pliers, get it around the earring, and pull it out. You can see here that this had a barb on it.
So there's a lot of parts of the doll makeover process that I don't always share just because it might not be the most interesting, or I just have so much other stuff to film. But one of the things I always do that I don't show is I will trim any straggly hairs from my doll's bangs or from the lengths of their hair off so they have nice fresh looking edges. I don't like trim the hair that already looks nice, but you know how like when you brush a doll you'll get those hanging bits? That's what I'm doing here. And also on Jade and Madison in particular, they had a lot of damage. Jade had cut bits and Madison had a lot of burned and split ends. So what I like to do is I will fold over the dolls with split ends hair and I'll just trim the split ends, kind of like what you can do on your own hair. And on dolls that have little short cut bits, I'll trim it right up to the scalp so it doesn't poke out and look messy. It's these teeny little touches that can make a world of a difference on your doll's finished product. And I've found by taking the extra time to do these things, the overall appearance of my dolls just looks so much better, especially because I do get so many secondhand and in such bad shape.
So it took about a week for my parts to get here. So this is from Mattel's website. This is from eBay, actually from Canada. And the funny thing is, a few days after I ordered these things, I found a lot on eBay that had Katrine hands and Costa Fierce hands, and it would have been cheaper to get that one lot than these two separate things, but that's alright, I don't mind. We got 3 pairs of hands from Mattel's website. I always order extra to make the shipping worthwhile. So I got some Toralei hands. Now unfortunately I can't use these on my first edition Toralei because the reason she needed her arms fixed in the first place was because this piece broke off into her upper arm, so you can't there's nothing you can really do. And then these are Costa's, which she just needs a hand if I'm not mistaken. Then we got Catty Noir hands because they're black, so they'll match quite a bit, even if it's like a non-Catty Noir doll. the hand could come in handy. And then this is from Canada. So this was cheaper in US dollars. So I got this for 20 US dollars. So it ended up costing about like what it would have cost ordering from Mattel's website. However, there's extras. Got some earrings. These are Frankie earrings. Necklace. Some hands. I don't know what kinds of. These are the Catty hands I needed. Newer Claudine hands. And I'm going to give these to Draculaura, my art class Draculaura. And then these are Halloween hands. I love how soft they are. And there's an extra earring. So yeah, this is all good. I'm going to put these in a little soapy water because they're technically secondhand. So I just figure I'll make them squeaky clean for my dolls.
So this was after 3 soaks in the OxyClean for glue because they were actively leaking and very bad, as you could see. This is a little hack that I've used before in the past when I was playing around with finding a glue treatment. So after I washed the OxyClean out 3-4 times, you want to make sure you wash it out really thoroughly, I put some conditioner on my hand and I get the teeniest bit, like the teeniest sliver of coconut oil, and I mixed it with the conditioner, and I just find that this really helps like lubricate off any excess glue that might still be lingering, and it makes the hair really shiny and soft. But do not get carried away or your doll will end up a grease ball. I learned that the hard way. So here I'm making the Ballerina dolls headbands, and I also made them tutus, which I did not do on camera because I spent an entire morning working on them, and then I hated how they looked because I wasn't really feeling too well that day. I had stomach cramps for some reason. I don't know if it was like the weather or sometimes even allergies can do that, but I was just hating them. I was hating life, so I didn't film. I didn't feel like filming any of it. But I did make them, and I'm designing them hair pieces to match in this little clip here. That's what I'm doing. I'm actually sewing the flowers onto the ribbon instead of gluing just because I feel like it works out better. I used to hot glue a lot, but I use that mostly just if I'm using a wire base nowadays. And now I'm using a candle to melt the edges of the ribbon that I used for making headbands so that they don't fall apart later. Finishing touches like this just make things look nicer. I also have my first Barbie slippers because the ribbons on her ballet slippers were fraying too, and this was just a good way to prevent them from completely falling apart.
So since you're not going to be able to see what his knees look like at the end when the Cowardly Lion is in his outfit, you can see the stains are gone. I put them out for, I don't know, about 4 days. The weather here wasn't that great. The sun kept coming and going. I think if it had been like a day like today where it was 70 to 80 degrees, really strong, consistent sunlight, it would have been gone in like 2. We are at the end of the transformation video. We just spent the better part of like an hour and a half photographing everyone. So here they are, all set, all finished. This is Mr. Hart. Not much of a difference here. The Cowardly Lion, he actually ended up getting 3 boil washes, the stain removal treatment as I showed you earlier, and this is a clone outfit that I got a long time ago at the flea market on another doll. Cali Guy Ken. We had to take this outfit off of Hottie. It's not actually his outfit, it's a Cali Guy blend, but it works. Hanging Out Barbie. We have Madison. She got a grand total of 6 boil washes because I gave her 1 more when he came in from stain removal treatment. And it's not perfect, but this is the best it's going to look for now, and I'm pretty pleased with the results, aren't you?
Oh, very.
Mal, no more pink spot on her nose. I don't know if I showed that before, but like, that's her hair. Evie, also made earrings for her and Hanging Out Barbie. Megan, she has a slight line of demarcation because I had an elastic over her head pinning her bangs down for like the better part of this video because she is cowlick. Costa, who cannot sit because of how tight her dress is. Now, she is my favorite doll from this lot. Like, look at those crims. Look at how voluminous it is. She is even prettier than my other Costa Fierce doll. I didn't crimp the underlayer. I just did half because she has so much hair. Oh my gosh. And she has these really cool pom-pom earrings. Speaking of crimps, I also played around with Roller Maze Ghoulias. You can see she has crimps in her ponytails. Then we have Lagoona. So I did brush through her hair and I did these curls basically, and I gave her these clips and made her some earrings. Katrine with her new hands, and she's got a little hairdo. No more glue on her. These two got a total of 4 soaks in the OxiClean. A lot of people are afraid that letting the doll soak that long is going to hurt them in some way. It's not. Like, I had them in for 4 24-hour plus soaks almost consecutively, and they're fine. They're not gluey anymore. So, also, if your dolls have pierced ears, sometimes in the soak, the water can go in through the ear piercings, and that's what can cause the salting, because the OxiClean gets, like, inside the head. So, yeah, make sure you squeeze out all the moisture. That's part of why this video took so long, because just as they were all done, I found water inside these two when I was getting them dressed. So, yep, homemade earrings. So Frights Camera Action and Art Class Draculaura, Darling Charming. That's what her hair looks like. Jade. Super Secret. Vanity Jade. It took me forever to find her hair parting and to like trim out all the cut bits, but well worth it. Love this fashion pack that I got on eBay a long time ago. Obviously, Pretty in Punk Yas doesn't look that much different, but boil washes do really help box dolls' hair and makes it look extra buttery soft and sleek. Then we have from Funk Yas. We have her in this princess outfit. Made her these ridiculous earrings, and I thought her hair would look really cute in this style. And then Funk Out Yas, I crimped her hair. The crimps didn't take as well to hers. But I like how they look, and I made her these really cool earrings. Colleen really wanted to put her in this outfit. Like, the second we got this doll, she was like, I want her in that swimsuit. Then we have the Beast. So he has Connecticut on here, and as did Belle, so those are all deflated. I just don't have tolerance for fluffy, like, wild curly Connecticut on hair. Then we have Tiana and Snow White. These are the tutus I made. I spent way too much time making them, and I'm still not 100% satisfied with how they turned out, but they're pretty cute.
She hated them at first. I loved them.
I wasn't feeling good the day I made them, though. The tulle is the only thing I had to buy. They were like in $2 rolls. Everything else, like for their headbands and stuff, I already had. It was like repurposed things. And I made Tiana's match like this. This is actually 2 layers of lace I used and had to sew together. Then we have Skipper. Colleen picked this really adorable outfit. She doesn't like to sit. Share Some Aisle Becky. Her hair is so buttery soft now. Look how gorgeous. And she does have a nicer outfit than our old doll, because our old doll was played with a lot. However, she's looser than the other Becky.
Which is weird, because my school photographers are the opposite.
Dance Club. Barbie and the Beat Midge. She looks so much better with sleek hair. Then we have Style Magic Barbie. I have her bangs pinned back because I was photographing her face, but actually like that her bangs are kind of swooshed off her face. And again, this is all deflated. Then we have my first Barbie. And then this is the back of Dance Club Barbie.
No more elastic seepage.
Nope, and all the stains managed to come out, and then I've had to flatten her bangs. These dolls have weirdly cut bangs, so they kind of sit a little awkwardly. Then and Now Barbie, who's such a babe, and I love this outfit. She looked good in everything, though. That's her hair. Thani Barbie. Her hair actually looks quite a bit better. And then, of course, last but not least, we have Tori. I didn't know that Kira and Tori were both played by Barbie, because I'm not, like, I don't really watch Barbie movies or anything. So that was surprising to me when I was researching it. But, yeah, she's all good. So if you guys want to see pictures of these dolls, they'll eventually be up on my Flickr. And that includes makeover pictures, the pictures of their earrings, all that kind of thing. We hope you enjoyed. Sorry for the delay. These were a lot of dolls to get through, and a lot of them needed special things done. So until next time, love your dolls, love yourself, and love your life.